previously I'd had a conversation with a girl, and it's a delicate conversation. I think it's a conversation about truth, honesty. Again, I always hate using these buzzwords like high value man, but I'd say a man with a lot of options, or a man that has a lot of room to exercise a lot of options. And what I'm talking about is men sleeping with a lot of women versus women sleeping with a lot of men, and men sleeping with women in a relationship, and women sleeping with men in a relationship. And it's a very wide umbrella. It's a very wide umbrella, even just from the fucking topics I've just said. The be all and end all of it, to cut straight down the middle to through the bullshit, is men simply can have sex with all women in relationships and not give a fuck and still care about his queen. Women cannot, because women are emotional creatures. They're the gatekeepers to sex. A man cannot have sex with a woman without a woman opening her legs and accepting that man to have sex with him. Men are the gatekeepers of marriage, because a man has to get down on one knee and ask a woman to marry him, become his queen, become his wife. So for a woman to get sex is fucking easy. Any woman, any of the females watching this now could go out today, pick the first man off the street and say, you want to have sex? And now probably 99.9% will say, yeah, fuck it. Obviously, like, most men are starving. Like 1 in 3 men are either a virgin or haven't had sex in the last year. That's like a real statistic. Wherever you put it, it's a big predominator. So anyway, yeah, I think women can't hear this conversation and can't understand this. Some women, I have to remember to keep saying some, because I do sometimes, it's like all or women think, and it's like, it's not all women. I know that. People should know that. I don't think it's every single woman or every single man. But again, the whole argument comes down to, it's both of our fault. It's men and it's women's fault. If men weren't bums and they actually fucking studied stoicism and got on their shit and didn't care about pussy, because that's what most men...
That's all of it.
Yeah, that's the downfall. And even me, as I've kind of come to a realization of this, and it might sound really egotistical and like fucking narcissistic or whatnot, but I really don't give a shit, because it's just truth. But I've always had a lot of female attention from the time I was 14. Always. I've always been the pretty boy, the good looking boy, dresses well, whatnot. And as I've got older, more mature, whatnot, I've been seen as I've always had females. That's just the way it's been. This is just the truth of it. And that is seen as, by my peers, as a fucking achievement. Man's like, how the fuck does Sim do it? And it's because it's not easy for normal men to do that. So it's been a downfall for me. And I'd argue if I was uglier, I'd probably be a lot more successful, because it wouldn't be so easy to me, because it's always been a normal.
Yeah.
So for most men, it's not a normal. So any kind of interaction that they get, like I just said, the woman who walks out of the front door and just says, yeah, I'll have sex, it's because they're not getting it. And women seem to think that men just fucking, they're always shagging everything. Yeah. But again, this is where the ugly, I don't like to use the word ugly, it's subjective, but these lower grade females that are just like bums, same as the men, they're just bums. They're fucking on the dole, they're just tramp, like they're just not good, but they're still getting fucked. That's the point. So if the men weren't still fucking the low value women, and the low value women weren't allowing the low value men to fuck, everyone would just improve.
They're just level
and
up.
You'd be fighting for the queens, because they wouldn't be letting anyone fuck. It'd be the in-ground would be fucking intense. You'd be like, there's all these females, they're not letting us fuck.
Well, you might start the swing there, so we better get ahead of the curve.
I hope you're listening, ladies, because I'm telling you, it's a horrible. And again, I want to reiterate this point. Even through, I've just been, and that was a really fucking good point that I managed to get straight through the bullshit to. And some women might not hear it, and I could argue and talk about it for days. But the reason why females can't hear this conversation, or again, most females can't hear this conversation, is because they think about it on an emotional level. Women are the emotional creatures. Men are the very logical creatures. And I'm not saying all of us, we're just as much the problem. A lot of us are still idiots, but a lot of us act in the same ways. Men are very simple creatures. We all act in the same ways. And in some ways, so do women, in quite a lot of ways, actually. But the ideologies and the belief systems that being put into the young girls' heads is why this whole dynamic is so stressful at the moment. And again, it comes down to honesty. If you're a low value man, but if you're a man that has a lot of options, let's say I was completely broke, for example, I was a bum, but I was still good looking, but I was kind of just an average man, but I was good looking in like a 9 to 5, and I had a lot of options, but I'm not really looking after my main woman. I'm not paying her bills. She's not looked after. You don't really have the leverage unless from the beginning you have that conversation with your woman and you say, look, I am quite a good looking man. I'm not trying to be egotistical. I do get a lot of female attention. There might be the odd chance that I'm out on a night out, or I'm on, again, maybe not doing business trips because you're an average guy, but there just might be a chance that I'll end up fucking another woman. Now, that is a horrible thing for a women to hear. They can't physically understand that. And again, it's not real. And most women will say to you, fuck off then.
Yeah.
So that's the
so which is a man though.
But women cheating and men cheating is totally different because of the emotion.
I used to think that, but I think that's bullshit now. I'll say this, but I think it's bullshit to be honest. Maybe there are some girls, but in the last, 5-10 years, I don't think so. Like, look at like
Oh yeah,
bands and stuff
you're not
like that
lying
now,
to be
it's
fair.
wide.
You're right, not lying to be honest. The men are actually women are starting to out cheat men these days. Like
Yeah,
that's actually a fact.
Definitely.
So I don't know. I think it's yeah. It's tough. It's tough because I was told earlier that basically, it sounds quite sad to be like you, because my mum asked me basically. She was like, "Do you think you'll ever have like one woman that you'll just be with?" I'm like, I don't see it. I really don't, Ed.
Really?
I've 27 years of life. I've had a couple of great females. I've never been loyal to any of them.
Yeah.
I just can't. And it's not because I don't love them. At the time and when I was deeply in love with them, I was deeply in love with them because that's how I felt. But I just couldn't control the urge. And this is, again, that's what people are saying. It's like controlling the urge. But again, another rebuttal to my argument is if you gave the male population a button that says every now and then you can fuck another woman, but you can stay with your wife and she doesn't care about it. The majority of men will, it doesn't matter what the number is, the majority of men will press that button. So for females to be so naive to think that you're going to hold down a man out of the majority of men that will press that button, whether they act on it or not is a different thing. And again, I don't think it's correct, but this is just the way men are biologically. But yeah, I guess I'm done on my point. Do you want to clap back?
Yeah, no, I think it's a tough one. It is.
It is. And obviously you're in a relationship, so you wouldn't want to be like, yeah, well, actually, Sim, now you've mentioned it, trying to drop the subtle hints. No, that's not what I'm not trying to set you up for failure here, Ed. But just in your honest opinion, let's say you were in a relationship, I don't know. Just answer how you want. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a funny one. It is a funny one.
What's your opinion on it? Okay, if a man's honest from the start on his intentions, like I said, and he tells a woman, look, I get a lot of options, I get a lot of, there's a possibility that it might happen. Are you down with that? Obviously that's better than just going out and cheating, but what do you think about that statement in general?
I just think it's weird, isn't it? Like, imagine your girlfriend comes to you and was like, "Oh, I might sleep with someone." We just got.
But the thing with women, the thing is, when women are in love with a man, they don't care about another man on the planet. That's their man. That's what they care about. And that's why they can't understand it, because we see our women like that, but we just don't. Sometimes we just want to fuck on a bitch.
Oh, I don't know. I think there's some birds out there, man.
The majority that we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, probably. No, I don't know.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a good conversation.
Yeah,
so I like it. What I know you say you don't know, but try and pinpoint a thought on it.
So you're saying that men just basically think with their dicks, but then women think with their emotions, right?
Yeah. Basically.
I think as a man, though, you should be able to control your sexual energy into one person.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. So, again, I don't, it is that, because again, even at my age now, I just kind of see sex as just degeneracy. Like if there's no meaning for it, if it's not someone actually cares about
your partner,
there's no point in it. I'm like outgrowing. It sounds weird to say, but I feel like everyone gets to that point where it's like you outgrow it. Like you see nice females, you see nice guys and whatnot, and you think, like, again, it's like a passing thought. You think, I would. It's not something I'm pursuing. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, it's so like you said, like the euphoria of it wears off so quick. It's like,
and that's it. And like when your euphoria wears off and you've left one person to go with this new person, you realise, oh shit, the grass weren't greener.
See, everyone says about the grass weren't greener, but again, I think if the conversation is had at the start and the woman is in the conversation and understands, then she has the right to make the decision. Where men go wrong is, and again, like I said, there's a lot of things men go wrong in as well. We're both equally as bad. Is that men are not truthful. If you had the conversation at the start, you wouldn't need to lie 8 months in after you fought 2 bitches.
So it's an open relationship in it, but obviously just the one way. It's funny because that's what Sean O'Malley's got, from the UFC.
Yeah,
he's got an open relationship
for him, but his missus is.
Well, no, they've both got an open relationship.
Oh, okay.
She's just never done it. So it's like how she's just gone. Yeah,
she's just. So that's a fucking incredible that you said that, because someone said that to me. Someone said exactly that. Someone said, "All right, then. Well, if that's what the conversation would be, then I'd be like, all right, then I want that option as well. I might never do it, but I just want you to know that I've got that option." And I was like, that's deep. That would hit me. I was like, that is long.
Yeah, no, if you think how well it worked out for Adam 22, he's fucked.
And this is what I mean. And it like there's just a difference. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right, but there's just a difference in a woman cheating and a man cheating. It's just how it is. I don't agree. Like, as I say, I don't agree with it. But that's just the way it is. It's biology. It's literally biology. A woman that sleeps with a lot of men most times ends up being damaged and hurt, and she's given it so much of her reproductive system. So many men have fucking shot in her. She's damaged by age 30. So if you protect your innocence and you protect your body as much as you possibly can, you're only going to increase your chances of finding a man.
Facts.
But we'll leave it on a hot take, Ed.
Yeah,
so I think you're going to like this one.
Go on.